I know, I'm late. Yeah, so in the next 2 minutes, I'm going to try and give you a preview for both Benn-Eubank 2 and JDM and Islam. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so quick change of lighting. Benn-Eubank 2, I'm picking Ben to win. There is no real logic behind it, I just think that he will make the adjustments necessary. I think he can have real success if he manages to throw combinations and composes himself and isn't erratic and doesn't swing Hail Marys for large portions of the fight. I think if he picks his shots and manages to maintain his sanity, because the adrenaline clearly got to him and it got to them both ultimately, but if he picks and chooses when to swing for the solar system, I do think that he can have some real success. I think though, Eubank will also be quite strong in the second fight. I did like some of the stuff he did in the first fight, I thought he picked his shots really well, but overall I do think the gas tanks for both guys will be a big question mark going into it, and whether or not they can, I guess, keep a more level-headed pace as we get along in the fight, because I do have a funny suspicion this is going to go the distance again, or it will be a late stoppage. But yeah, I'm picking Ben to win. Let me know who you've got for this. Quick note before going on, I do actually think this is quite a tough one to predict. People are predicting Eubank, people are predicting Ben, some people will think it'll be a draw, but I do think that this will be a very close fight, and I expect a much, I don't know if cleaner is the right word, but more skilled affair this time, but we'll see. UFC, JDM, Islam Makhachev, who do I think is going to win? Well, up until this point I have actually opted with JDM and sided with him, but man, I know I'm terrible, I know, but I'm backing Islam now. Yes, I want him to win, and I need to just go with it. I think the keys for him though are not being tentative. Even though this is an uncharted territory to some degree, and he has spoken about how this weight cut in general has been easier, JDM is the one who is the natural welterweight. He's the one who's comfortable striking with this leather. Islam Makhachev has never felt this before, so I think if he's tentative, and DC basically nailed it on, so I'm just kind of reiterating what he said, but similar thoughts I had. But Islam needs to have the same approach as he does, and as he's had throughout his whole career. Be the aggressor, don't let JDM set and try and pick him apart, because if he is JDM on the back foot, it'll leave more opportunities for takedowns, better in the striking, and just overall I think he will have success. But one thing I have been very surprised at is the favourite, or the consensus of because he feels like an overwhelming favourite, which I don't see him as an overwhelming favourite. I see this as a very difficult one to call, and it's harder for me to call than the boxing. And we side note, I actually am looking more forward to this than the boxing. But yeah, that's what I think. But do you think JDM will win? Do you think Islam will win? Let me know.